So this video is looking at the users that sit within the SmartValve app. So I've logged into my SmartValve web application. I've hit the dashboard as you would, and I'm going to navigate on the left-hand side now to users. So in here, this has a list of all the users within your organization which are using both the web app and the app out in the field running on the mobile phones. So when you hit that piece of navigation, it will give you both two things. So first and foremost, it has the ability to either create a manager in the system. So a manager is someone who has access to the web application. That also gives them access to the app as well. And a technician is simply someone who has access to the app and not to the web app. However, it's worth noting that a technician can log in to the web application with their username and password and get a view of just their operations. So that's all they can see, it's just their operations. So they do have some access, but it's limited just to view their operations, although they can also see those within the app as well. So I'll come back to that in a second. But what you get in the main page here is the ability to do a name search and to filter those by either managers or technicians. So you should imagine if you have 500,000 users, you want some way of filtering those. Another quick way to filter them is you can filter them by their first initial and their last initial, and it auto filters. So as you can see, I've done A and T, which is my name. Gives you my two user accounts in there as well. If I clear those filters, that will give me back to the full list. So the full list here is paginated. So you see the pages down the bottom and you just scroll between them by pressing the arrows backwards and forwards. Or you can certainly just type in a name and you can click search. And that will pull back all the people there looking at the name starting with Paul. So really easy to search. Once you've got those users' details on there, so let me search for myself. You can then do a couple of things. So you can look at that user's details. So I can go in and have a look at the details of that particular user. So this will tell me everything that I'm using on here. So in this particular login, it doesn't know when I've last logged in or which app build I'm using or what app platform I'm using as well. That's just because I haven't logged in using this login for a while. So as soon as I do, it will pull that information in. This is a relatively new feature within the web application. But that's really good to know what version of the software they have downloaded, what their operating system is. So if a particular technician's having problems, that's really good information to provide the support team. So we know exactly if they're up to date with the latest information or there's something with their operating system that's a known fault that we need to have a look at. Excuse me. Underneath that, then it tells you the total number of operations for that particular user. Again, all of these are linked, so I can click on that, and that will then transfer me through to the ops log for every single operation that I've done as a user. Again, paginated down. There's another video on having a look at the ops logs and operations, so I'm not going to go into that now, but just want to show you that they are hyperlinked through. And that's the same for the other links on here as well. So you can click on any of these. As you can see, when the underline comes in, that will take you to the detail of these operations. So this is the latest activity from me. So it tells you the turn to open, turn to close. The valve is, again, unknown on this particular one. It's an older version of the system. But this has a scroll here, so you can scroll through all of the operations and find out what that technician's been doing. Other things you can do from here as a manager is you can reassign their operations. So if you've assigned operations, you've set up operations, do the ops log for this user. If that user can no longer do them, they're off ill or they've gone on holiday or whatever it may be, you can click that link and that will allow you to view and reassign all of their operations to a different user in the system. You can reset the user's password and I can edit the user's details here as well. So it gives you quite a lot of control as a manager of the system to have a look at each individual user, look at their statistics, look at their operations and provide some basic tasks on there as well. The other thing this allows you to do is actually create new users in the system. So I can click Create Technician, and here I can type in their name and their last name, their email address as their username. You can assign them a password, but it's not necessary. It does one automatically. And here, if you are a manager within the system, you can assign the users this manager can view. So these are tick boxes that allow you to check who this user can see. So that's a quick view of the users and the functions that sit within that part of the web application.